Welcome to my channel, my young achievers. Remember, always have a book and a pencil nearby to write down words that you need to learn. Okay, my boys and girls, let's begin. Today, we will be learning about sight words for grade 1. Okay, my young achievers, grab your book, your pencils, and let's get learning. Before, B-E-F-O-R-E, before.
Riddle me that in which book does the word ant comes before the word alligator? If your guess was dictionary, you are correct.
We are going to use the word before to make 5 simple sentences. Are you ready to help me read these sentences? Okay, my boys and girls. Sentence number 1. I eat breakfast before I go to school. And always remember, my young achievers, that we start a sentence with a capital letter and we end the sentence with a full stop. Now, boys and girls, sentence number 1 reads, I eat breakfast before I go to school. Now, my boys and girls, you are going to take your time. You are going to write down this sentence and let me hear you practicing to read it. Now, my boys and girls, do you think it is important for you to eat breakfast before you go to school in the mornings? Yes, it is very important to eat your breakfast before you go to school in the morning. Okay, my boys and girls? Always remember, have your breakfast so you can be able to learn what your teacher is teaching you. Now, number 2, we brush our teeth before we go to bed. Do you brush your teeth before you go to bed, boys and girls? Awesome. It is so important you brush your teeth in the mornings when you wake out of bed and before you go to bed at night. This will prevent your teeth from decaying. Okay, my boys and girls? Number 3. I put on my shoes before I go outside. Now, my young achievers, if you do not put on your shoes before you go outside, do you know that something will get into your foot and even cause you not to be able to walk again? Do you want that for yourself? No. Always put on your slippers or a shoes before you go outside. We say goodbye to mom before we leave for school. Sentence number 5. I do my homework before I watch television. Now, boys and girls, I am going to give you time to write off all 5 sentences And not only are you going to write off the sentence, you are going to practice reading each sentence. Okay, my boys and girls? Remember, in order to be able to be good at what you are, you have to practice. Okay? So, sentence number 1. I eat breakfast before I go to school. Come, boys and girls, you are going to read each sentence with me. Number 1. I eat breakfast before I go to school. Sentence number 2. We brush our teeth before we go to bed. Sentence number 3. I put on my shoes before I go outside. Sentence number 4. We say goodbye to mom before we leave for school. And sentence number 5. I do my homework before I watch.
Okay, my young achievers, do you know what the word verb means? A verb is an action word like dance, jump, and play. It is also called a doing word like eat, talk, and sing.
Now, boys and girls, here are 5 simple questions I need you to answer. Now, boys and girls, we will be reading a story, Anansi, Rabbit, and the Garden. Before the sun set over the forest, Anansi the spider decided to play a trick on his friend, Ben the rabbit. Ben, I found a magical garden filled with juicy carrots, Anansi said, but we must get there before dark or the garden will disappear. Ben's eye widened with excitement. Let's hurry. I love carrots. Before they reached the garden, Anansi whispered to Ben, to enter the garden, we must answer a riddle. If we answer correctly, the garden will reveal itself. Ben nodded eagerly. I'm ready. What's the riddle? Anansi grinned mischievously. What can be broken but never held? Ben thought for a moment before answering. A promise. And Nancy chuckled. Very good, Ben. The garden will now reveal itself. But to Ben's surprise, there was no garden, and Nancy had tricked him again. Before Ben could scold Anansi, the spider laughed and said, Gotcha, but don't worry, I'll share my own carrots with you. And so Ben learned to always be cautious when dealing with the cunning Anansi. Was that story very interesting, my young achievers? Awesome. What I want you to do is take your time, learn to read each sentence so you can be good at reading. Okay, my young achievers?
Okay, my young achievers, we have come to the end of today's lesson, but before you go to sleep tonight, remember to read this story again to improve on your reading. In addition, remember to subscribe to the channel for more reading videos that will help you with your reading. Bye for now.